Alright, so for number 37, we're going to assume that a plus b is equal to 180, and we're going to identify which of the following is equal to cosine of a. So to kind of talk about this, this is actually one of your identities that we talked about in our last unit. But you can use some examples to also kind of think about it. So if I had 150 plus 30, that added up to 180. If I took the cosine of 50 and then the negative cosine of 30, notice you get the same value. Okay? So in this case, you can see that by example, you could figure out which of these was true. So sine A, if you did sine of A, you know that that is not equal to the cosine of A, because sine of A would be 150, and cosine of A would be cosine of 150 and sine of 150. We know that cosine and sine of 150 are not the same. Also, the negative sine of 150 would not be the cosine of 150 either. The cosine of B would be 30, which would not be equal to the cosine of 150. So the best selection here is cosine of B. Alright, for number 38, simplify the following expressions and evaluate. So these are just your sum and difference formulas, and I've put those right here. This is actually what's on your semester exam review packet on the front of it, and you would have to notice this pattern and then apply the sine, cosine. So you have sine, cosine, minus sine, cosine, sine. So that you know then that that is the sine, but it's the difference of sines pattern. So since it's a difference of sines pattern, I take 5 pi over 8, which is the first. I take 3 pi over 8, which is the second. I subtract them and find that it's sine of pi over 4. Then I can evaluate sine of pi over 4, which is root 2 over 2. For cosine of 5 pi over 6, cosine of pi over 6, I have minus sine of 5 pi over 6 and sine of pi over 6. That is the cosine pattern, but it is the sum of cosines. Yes, that is the opposite sign. That is why this sign here, this plus minus, becomes a minus plus. Because if this is cosine plus, then there will be a minus sign here. If this is cosine minus, there will be a plus sign. So it's opposite. Again, add those two, you get cosine of pi, which is negative 1.